Hi, we are so delighted to be recording our first ever Teen Pods live with... Oh, we're not live, are we? We're semi-live. It's live to us.
It's live for us.
It's live for us because we're on screen, but we're not live to you, but you can listen to it. Teen Pods with Joe and Sue.
Aka, otherwise known as Posh and Pool.
Yeah.
Goose.
On our podcast. We wanted to do a live today because we believe you teenagers are so extraordinary. We don't actually think you realise how amazing you are, do we?
We don't. Well, to be fair, and it's not just you teenagers. I don't think a lot of people realise how amazing and extraordinary they are. I think it gets lost in translation, and a lot of the time we are just mean to ourselves, aren't we?
We are. So Joe and I started a podcast series way back, a long time ago, years ago, in March or even May. And our hearts really are for transforming lives through the power of self-love. Know who you are, know your identity. Joe has got 4 teenagers. I have got 4 semi-teenagers. So between us, we've got 8 children. And Joe's worked with teenagers for many years, and so have I. And our message to you guys, or even if you're in your 20s or 30s, whatever age you are listening to this, is find that amazing love within yourself and believe in you, isn't it?
Yeah, and that sounds really simplistic, and actually it is quite simplistic, but sometimes it does take a bit of time to get there, and I appreciate that. And we feel like we can be the authority on this because both Sue and I have come from a place where once we didn't love ourselves, and life wasn't as great when we didn't love ourselves. And don't get me wrong, life is life. So it's not a bed of roses for either of us. We're both single mothers of 4. We both have to pay the rent. We both have to pay the bills. We both have to make sure the computer's on. We both have to, deal with exes and general shit on a daily basis. So we do not have this perfect lifestyle. But what we do have is we have a heart full of love and gratitude. And we appreciate ourselves. We appreciate our flaws and our strengths and our weaknesses. And we work with our strengths and we work with our values. And we truly, truly appreciate who we are from the inside out. Like, I can truly look at myself and I think, you're beautiful, Joanne. And Sue's beautiful, and I look at everybody else and think they're beautiful, and you think that about yourself as well, don't you, Sue?
I do. But it's taken me a long time to get there, actually.
Yeah, and it took a lot of practice, and it took a lot of, how did you get to a place of self-love?
I think what you say is really valuable, actually. Love even your flaws, because we're never going to be perfect people. And actually the advantage of getting to my age is that you understand nobody's got a perfect life, and what we see, especially on social media, is perfect lives. We see the beautiful photographs, we see the sunshine, the lovely relationships, the happy people, but that's not true. That's not you're only seeing one side of it. But I think it's really important to realise, I've made many mistakes in my life, and I've been, like Joe, through a really hard time, and I've published a book about my story, which shocks the world. But, everyone can shock the world, actually, with our stories, but we hide away in them and we carry shame. And if there's one thing I could say to you is don't carry shame. Your mistakes are going to make you who you are. You are absolutely beautiful inside, and you're on a journey to discover that. And I think my journey, you just asked that question, how did I get to that place? I think I got so low at one stage in my life, there was nowhere else other than up, really. So I had to find that up. And it was having the courage to say, I'm just going to get out of bed every day, and I might just lock it at the top.
Yes.
I'm going to get out of bed every day, just put my makeup on, do my hair, and have a shower. And some days I couldn't even get out of the house. I was so low, but I did it. And, just finding little strategies each day to just be grateful. Gratitude is really important as well. What are you grateful for today? And somebody once said to me, find 12 things, Sue, each day you're grateful for. And it's to the start, it was only, the sun is shining, or there's air that I can breathe, because I couldn't really think much that I was grateful for. But then every day as I did it, I found more and more things to be grateful for, and those things got bigger and bigger. And I think it's just slowly realising that I've got a choice. And I can choose to partner with woe is me, or actually life is really hard, or I can choose to find the good things.
Yeah, and also, so there's gratitude, and that's an amazing one, and that's been proven scientifically, hasn't it? If you can, especially at the end of the day, if you can write 3 things down that you were grateful for about that day, and try and make them different every day, because we can all be grateful for our friends and our family. And that's great, but sometimes it might just be a special thing a friend's done or a special thing a family's done, or it may well be just that you had the most amazing lunch, or that you got to do yoga, or you had a walk on the beach, or you've seen a great sunrise. It can be anything you want. I always laugh because on my website I write, one day I was actually really grateful for peanut butter and Marmite. It was just the best day ever. So it can be anything from the sublime to the ridiculous that you can be grateful for. But before bed, if you can write down 3 things you were grateful for, and then live them moments again. And it's a really positive way to go to bed. It brings, really good hormones, and it's retraining your brain. We used to think our brain was this thing that we couldn't train, but actually with neuroplasticity, our brains can grow, our brains can change. We can change, reprogram. We can change the way our brains work. And if you're filling it with positive things, rather than, a lot of time people go to bed and think about the negative things or the things they've got to do for tomorrow. If you can think of 3 things that you're truly grateful for that day and live with the moment for a few minutes, it's a beautiful thing to do. It literally takes 5 minutes, and that's a great thing to do. And then, like, in the morning, when I first wake up, I'm kind of like, hi, morning, beautiful, I love you, I am enough, I am worthy. I start with my little affirmations to myself. When I go to the bathroom, I'll smile at myself in the mirror. Probably sounds a little bit nutty, but...
Do you know, I think I've got a picture of you stuck on my mirror.
Oh, because you just smile at me.
Yeah. Oh. It's nice waking in the morning knowing that someone's smiling at you, isn't it? Yeah. You do it to yourself and you do it to me as well.
I smile at you.
Do you know, also, I put Jo on sometimes on the podcast just to listen to her voice because I think she's very encouraging. It's interesting though, Jo, when you say that, reprogramming your brain, I think teenagers are surrounded by friends all the time, aren't they? And I think you guys are very influenced by what people think of you and what people say. Get to being slightly older and you just don't care. But how can you influence those voices in your head where you are repeating what you think people are saying about you or what you've heard in that day? How can you reprogram your brain? Do you think that's easy to do?
I don't think it's easy, because I think even as we're older, there's certain types of people, like I'm definitely a people pleaser, and I've had to learn not to please everybody and to start pleasing myself, which seemed a bit selfish at first. But then voices, and then if somebody says something nasty about you, we're all human, and that's always going to sting, isn't it? And
not just voices, but it's looks sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it can
looks
be a look, a look of disdain, or
rejection.
Somebody, or you get that energy feeling that somebody doesn't like you. And on the whole, I generally don't care. But there's still the times when you go, oh, that wasn't very pleasant, or why would somebody say that? So, no, it's not that easy, but you have to just go and sit with it. And often you have to realise if somebody is not very nice, it's about them and not about you. And that's the thing that I remind myself of all the time. Most people in life, whether they're showing anger or even joy and happiness, they're projecting what's within them. So if they're coming at you and saying nasty things and saying mean things, they often feel like that about themselves.
Yeah, it's
and
a manifestation of what's inside.
And sometimes they don't even realise they feel that about themselves, or it's within their subconscious. It's not something they're consciously thinking about themselves. But if people can go around and be mean to other people, hurt people, hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. And I think what you said earlier is really important, Jo. When you're feeling hurt or low, then actually to repeat the words you said, which is I am lovable, I am enough. Say it over the words that are maybe in your head.
Because it's that retraining. And so when I was in a place of despair like you've been, Sue, and I was at rock bottom, and again, I had nowhere else to go. It was live or die kind of thing. And you don't have, that's what we don't want. We don't want you to have to reach those horrible stages of totally rock bottom. But when I did, I repeated affirmations to myself all the time. I mean, I didn't have to walk around talking to myself like a, whatever. But I would be, in my head, be saying to myself, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, I am worthy, I am lovable. And eventually we do believe what we tell ourselves. So if we can start talking to ourselves in a nice way, I really do think that's the first step to self-love. And then voices are always going to be there. Those words are always going to be there, whether you call it an ego or your soul or something. You have your little good devil, your bad devil on your shoulders. There is always going to be them negative words popping up in your head, like, oh, my bum's too big, or I'm too stupid, or I don't fit in, or I'm not popular enough, or I'm not clever enough, or I can't do that. And sometimes it's just a case of going, okay, thank you for that opinion, but I am enough, I am worthy, I am lovable, and talking over that voice, because even now, I am in a place of self-love.
She
and I've
talks
loved
over
myself.
my voice all the time.
I have to, because otherwise you wouldn't get a word in edgeways. But
I'll just sit here silently.
To love yourself, it takes work. And also what I will say is, you don't all of a sudden come to a place of self-love and go, that's it, got this down pat now, I'm sorted. It's not quite like that. It's like, and I always refer to it as exercise. If you train your body for a year and you go and run a marathon, great. Then if you don't run for another year, your body's not going to be quite what it was the year before. It's exactly the same with your mental health. So now I know every day I work on my mental health as well as my physical health. And to be healthy, mind, body and soul, that's what I choose to do, because I want to be at the peak happiness, my peak health, and I will forever use affirmations and all the other tools that are in my toolbox, which hopefully we will go through over our various next podcasts.
Yeah, we're really excited because we're just starting this now, so you guys can listen to us. And I think we recognise how hard it is for you teens. I think when you go to school, I've taught in school for many years, so I understand what it's like, but I think there's not enough recognition in schools as to how hard it is for you and how amazing you are, and the struggles that you face with your hormones, with peer group pressure, with academic stress, with some teachers that don't understand, with maybe one or two working parents, single parent family, and some of you I know don't even have a single parent family out there. So we are right behind you, encouraging you. We know life is really tough, and I think life was tough for us in a different way, wasn't it? I mean, you read my diaries and you think I should have been really taken away by social services, because what I wrote in my diary wasn't reflecting a happy me, but it does get better, it does get easier, and try and surround yourself by positive energy, lovely people. Even if it's a lady down the road that you want to knock on her door, go and talk to wise people and listen to other people as well, so you can come out of just the teenage environment, which can be really negative. And then surround yourself with lovely friends. Go and do nice things. Go for a walk on the beach, go for a walk in the woods with lovely people as well. Do nice things for yourself. Have a hot bath with candles. Go and cherish yourself. Love yourself.
But definitely work on you and your mental health on a daily basis, and start retraining your brain to speak kind words to yourself, because you are worthy, you are enough, and you are more than lovable, and you are here in this world, you are unique, you are here for a reason. The human body and just actually being born is a miracle. So you've already achieved a miracle, you are a miracle, and you are lovable, and we just want you to know that. And the more you can know that about yourself, the better your life will be.
And we care about you enough to start a podcast series just for you, giving up our time for you. And we're going to have an amazing lady coming on board as well, called Auntie Bubbly, who's absolutely gorgeous. Is she in her 70s?
She's in her 70s.
She's so incredible. She's so encouraging, positive. She's got amazing feminine energy about her. We're taking her on as our role model, so we're going to hand her on to you as well and have some discussions with her about what it's like to be young and how to find yourself and who you really are. So we really care about you. Connect with us, like our page.
Yeah, like our page. You'll understand that. We don't really understand that.
Well, she does, I don't.
Yeah, no, like our page, and we will be posting things especially for you as well. And if there's anything you want us to cover, any topics you'd like us to cover, which are important to you, then please do get in touch with us. Just message us and let us know, and we will certainly do our best to do that. Yeah.
Great. Goodbye for now.
Yeah. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.